Welcome back to another episode of Projecting Grandeur. I'm your host, Ron Dichter. Today we talk about oysters. Why do we talk about oysters, Ron? Well, the way I think about oysters is that their purpose is to filter all the crap out of the ocean and make the water cleaner, right? That is their sole purpose, is that they filter out the water, they clean it, they eat whatever gunk they eat, and then they put clean water back out there. So they're kind of like a water purifier, that they purify out the bad stuff and then keep pushing out the good water that's left. So why do I want to talk about oysters today? Well, when I think about a entrepreneur, especially a startup entrepreneur or somebody who's maybe in their first 1 or 2 years, as I mentioned in previous episodes, you wear a lot of hats. And in such, you're also playing oftentimes the HR director, you're playing the president, you're playing the janitor, you're playing sales, you're playing all sorts of different roles within the company. And inevitably, in the world of a startup, there is going to be pessimism, right? Everybody can't always see the world through rose-colored glasses. Maybe you as the founder, you do, but many times your employees start to have doubt and things start creeping in that may not make them feel really bullish about the business or maybe even about their job security within the business. And inevitably what happens is these people start talking to other people in the company, and you run the risk of these people bringing very negative thoughts into the organization. And so it's very important that you as the business owner and as the leader and the founder, that you're able to filter out that bad messaging and replace it with good messaging. And so I often think about the role of the founder very much like I think about an oyster. There's a lot of really great stuff out there, but sometimes that great stuff can get, muted or quieted, can get loud if not muted or quieted by you as the founder. And so, a lot of times you have to think about yourself in the context of an oyster. And it's a tough job, right? So think about being an oyster. Like all day you're taking in crap, dirty water that is filled with all sorts of things that people don't want. And you have to then take that, get rid of it, clean it, and then put back out, good water. And so if you think about that from this perspective of the founder again, so you're taking all these things that are coming in the company, the good, the bad, the ugly, the doubt, the skepticism, the pessimism, all these things that people have, that they're harboring inside of them that they may not always be outwardly telling you, but they are talking to other people within the organization. And your job is to take this information, get rid of it, and then come out the other side with a positive spin on what it is that they're pessimistic or negative about. And that's a very hard job to do, especially when you as the founder probably in your mind have a little bit of doubt and a little bit of pessimism, and you're skeptical about something as well. So not only do you have to take all these fears and concerns that you have personally, because you're the one that has the risk, right? You put the money up, you put the idea up, you put everybody's faith in this idea that you have, and now you have to take everybody else's and you have to clean it and take all of their garbage and put out to the world this positive vibe. And I talked about in an episode, it must have been a month ago or so, I talked about bringing your A game. And I talked about the concept of, it's not realistic to always be on your A game, but it is realistic to always be on your A game in front of your team. And that same concept really applies here to being an oyster, is that you really have to, take all of this in and put back the positivity into the organization. And you can go into your office and curl up in fetal position and crawl into your desk and cry. Like that's okay. Like that could be part of your process, and there's nothing wrong with that. But for your team, they need to see you as the oyster, the strong, confident, consistent figure that's sitting down there, taking all this bad information, taking all these negative thoughts, and replacing them with the positive, confident outlook that they need to stay focused on the vision that you've set out in the organization. And it's a really tough, ask at times. And one of the things that I find often when I talk with business owners, especially new, first time or new business owners, is that they don't realize how much of this rests on your shoulders. And that's a big responsibility. Not only do you have the responsibility of getting the business off the ground and growing the business and making it a success, you have to take also everyone else's negativity, everyone else's concerns, and being able to spin the positive story and the positive outlook that they all need to stay committed to your vision. And as you get into the world, just remember that, because you aren't going to have somebody that you want to use as a sounding board. Like, you as the oyster can't go to your team and start venting to them about all the things wrong in the company. That's not going to help your cause. Hopefully you have a spouse or a significant other or somebody else that you can have that conversation with outside of the office. But when you're in that office, like, you're the oyster. You don't go tell other people about the negativity. Your job is to take in that negative, take in that pessimism, take in that skepticism, and clean out the garbage and spit it out the other side as a better, more refined message about what you want to accomplish in the business. And I just encourage everyone, as you get into business, go into this eyes wide open. Understand that you are going to be the oyster. You are going to be the person that has to take all the crap, all the garbage, all the negativity, all the things that are bad, and you got to repurpose that and spin it into the message that you want to convey and you want all of your team members to feel confident about. So, short one today. Go out there and be an oyster. It's okay. Again, it's not nothing wrong with going under your desk and crying. Just do it in private and bring your A game and be that oyster for your team. Hope you find this helpful. Please remember to like, comment, and most importantly, share. We've got some great traction, and there's nothing I'm asking here. I just want to put good messages out there. I've made a ton of mistakes in my entrepreneurial journey over the last 30 years, and I just want people to learn from it, and I hope you find this helpful. Have a great day.